Hey guys, welcome to oweek training for Red Frogs. Thank you so much for giving me and Red Frogs and this city some of your time. I just thought I'd throw this video quickly together with a bit of background information on Red Frogs and what's been happening in Coffs Harbour. Since Red Frogs first crashed Schoolies Week in 1997, the Red Frog crew have been in high schools, universities, skateboarding tours and music festivals all around the nation and now the world. In Coffs Harbour, we also feed students at breakfast clubs and we're running many youth events that I'd love you to be a part of as well. Drinking, in case you haven't noticed, is a big thing in Australia. We can't change that by taking the alcohol away or saying no alcohol, because we all know that when you can't have something, you find other ways to find it. Our goal is to change the culture, to present alternatives to young people, because young people, and whether they be high school students or uni students, are the next generation of leaders. They're the next doctors, the next principals, the next prime ministers, the next world leaders. Our goal throughout everything we do as Red Froggers is to serve and support young people through the most important years of their lives. So here's a bit of information, what's been going on at the unis. Since entering our first residential college, we can now be found in over 140 university colleges in Australia, and even more throughout New Zealand, America, England, Wales, Scotland. That's right, Scotland, France, Norway, Canada and South Africa. In Australia alone, Red Frogs delivers to university students 70,000 wall calendars and over 3 tonne of Red Frogs. Thank you, Allens and Nestle, for that. And more donuts and Isopol that you can throw your nana at every year. You'll also find us running hydration stations. Now try and say that 3 times really fast. Cooking pancakes, hosting cafe crawls and supporting university students in any way that's possible. We're all about local serving locals, so whatever need arises, we'll be there. In Coffs Harbour, we catered for 300 of these students and we give out 300 calendars. And that's what you have chosen to be a part of, so thank you. Our program aims to provide a high level of duty of care to residents and assist in the minimisation of drug and alcohol-related incidents. We use non-verbal and non-confrontational peer modelling to communicate the ability to have a great time without the need for alcohol and other substances, such as playing cards or just having conversation, having dance parties without the need for alcohol. We support the students who may not choose to drink in excess or at all and tear the label off non-alcoholic events, because we all know, well, sometimes when people put on those non-alcoholic events they can be a little bit lame, but we're about making fun. We don't need to have alcohol, and I know that you guys know that. During orientation week we'll be encountering uni students that are new and have never been to uni before. They're fresh out of high school, but we're also encountering people who are from, could be 17 or 107. That's because there's, and Coffs Harbour particularly, there's an intake of mature age students as well as freshies right out of school. Present at these events also will be uni students who have been there for a number of years, so this is their territory. We're entering into a place that they've already called home for a while. There will be parents, high school students, which is another pool or a separate thing, but they are still important. Even though they're not our focus, still please be respectful to everybody, including the staff of the uni. They have chosen to ask the Christians, the people from churches, to come and support their event, which I think is an amazing example of God's favour on this city. He wants us to get into these places. He wants us to go and encourage and love this city. The staff of the uni and the residential college have invited us, so please make sure that you lend a hand and encourage them in what they're doing. I would love for us to come away from these events and then just to go, Red Frogs, thank you. I wouldn't have been able to run oweek without Red Frogs being there. So let's make other people smile. I believe that as Red Froggers we get to be an extra pair of hands and eyes and offer help to people. It's okay just to go and offer help. Just let me know where you go. But remember, when you put on this Red Frog shirt, it's like a uniform. You are shining God's light, but you also have to remember to protect the frog. Without protecting the frog, we can be shut off from the uni completely. Don't go anywhere alone, and make sure that you just let me know, or the leader that's in charge of the event know where you're going. Here's some things to watch out for and what not to do. Don't act out of your role and authority, as explained during this training. Don't drink alcohol, smoke, tobacco, or anything else. Don't take drugs, engage in any conduct which may have led to others to think that you are drinking alcohol. Don't pick up alcoholic cans or bottles or smoke packets. Encourage the uni students to help you clean up if that happens. And definitely don't pick up syringes in public. Don't use swear words or offensive language or gestures. Try and think that you are being watched all the time. Don't engage in any type of sexual harassment, sexual attention which could be considered unwelcome or offensive. Don't touch or kiss or any other type of affection that could be misinterpreted. Don't pray for people in public. I know this might sound silly. Some people might come and ask you when they find out you're from church if you can pray for them. It's best if you encourage them and say that you'll pray for them another time, or we can arrange a coffee date or a hangout another time. And if you're a girl and it's a boy asking you for help, encourage them to go and speak to a boy red frogger. Just we don't want anyone to assume anything. I'd rather everything to be in the light at all times. Don't engage in any conduct which is illegal, immoral, offensive, or degrading in nature, harmful or likely to cause a nuisance or a bad reputation for red frogs. Don't stand in the way of police or emergency services. Offer and ask them if you can help them, but don't, if they come in and say, I'm going to help this person come back to life, don't try and get in the way of that. Let them do what they've been trained to do for probably 10 years. Don't openly talk to news reporters or issue public statements, including releasing any videos or articles or books or other publications. Now, this is a big thing. Don't place photographs or statements on Facebook, Twitter or MySpace that compromises Red Frog's image. So if you are holding a beer bottle, don't put that photo on Facebook. But if you're in a photo where there is alcohol, before you even take that photo, encourage the other people. Think of creative ways to get the alcohol from out the photo, because I'm sure they can take a photo without holding a beer bottle just like you can. You know, the double peace sign, they have to put some of this stuff down. But let's just you can post pictures of yourself doing red frogs, but just make sure someone is always watching you. Let's make sure we pick up the dead frogs. If a red frog drops on the floor, make sure you pick it up straight away, put it in the bin, or eat it if you're daring. Now here's another big thing. We get questions all the time about why we do what we do. So I just thought I'd give you a few answers to common questions. I know you're not silly, but it's best for me to answer them now, and I'll give you plenty of time to ask questions a bit later. Otherwise you can email me or Facebook me later. People often ask you, where does your support come from? Here's what you can say. Our support comes from local churches and donations. All our volunteers are from different churches in Coffs Harbour. Now you can tell them about your church experience here if the moment allows it. You can also ask them if they have been to a church, or if they know about the churches around, or if they've ever heard of Red Frogs before. You can also explain that many businesses and individuals also contribute financially, but we run purely off donations. We're all about locals serving locals. You might get asked, why do you do it? Why are you a Christian? Why do you do it for free? Why do you volunteer? These are big things. If you offer someone a free pancake, they freak out. So here you can say why you do it. Be honest, why do you do Red Frogs? Now if you can't think of a reason, maybe you should think of one now. It's such an opportunity to just tell them about your life as well, and invite them to ask questions as well. Red Frogs, you can explain that Red Frogs are here to support people because we have a heart to do so, and we just love helping people. You can answer these questions about why you're a Christian. Don't try and shun them off, but place emphasis on your personal story. Don't use terms like all the Red Froggers believe this, or this happens to every Christian, or whatever. It's about your personal story, because each and every Red Frog is individual. Now you might get asked this question, how can I be a Red Frogger? Now find out if they are a Christian or if they're involved in a church. Say, yes, you can definitely help us hand out some Red Frogs here, or you can come and help us tomorrow or the next possible day. But to apply to be a Red Frogger, you need to go to redfrogs.com.au, and you'll need a pastoral reference, which means you have been attending and volunteering at a church. Why don't you come to a Froggers Feast and help serve there, or another event? But if they keep harassing you, make sure they come and see me or the leader that's been assigned to that particular event. And then they might ask, why do I have to be a Christian to join Froggies? And you can explain that we are a chaplaincy support network for students and many other people. Often as a Red Frogger, you can be put in situations where you have to be prepared to answer questions about faith or God and tell them and about the Bible. They'll ask you all the time. So these are some of the things as Red Froggers we stand for. And if you can't